Hi, everyone. I'm Jane Applegath. Welcome to the Epic Vision Zone. Our goal with this show and company is to bring you trailblazing women from around the globe to share their ideas, knowledge, and inspiration in order to help you transform your dreams into epic success. With a love for entrepreneurship, today's guest has been featured in Oprah Winfrey's O Magazine South Africa. She has been nominated as one of 2020's extraordinary businesswomen and was the previous CEO of technology for Women in Business. She is a mother, an author, co-founder, entrepreneur, and radio show host. Her book, Climbing the Ladder of Success, has been translated into 6 different languages. As a co-founder of Women Business Achievers, she develops and teaches business solutions through webinars and workshops while encouraging listeners on her radio show to fulfill their destiny. Her passion and expertise are self-mastery and personal worth. She is founder and chairperson of Leading Women Network, helping women recognize their value and validate the power of their dreams. A big welcome all the way from South Africa, Daphne Mash, an entrepreneur paving the way for extraordinary female founders in South Africa and around the globe. Welcome, Daphne. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jane. It's such a privilege for me to be here. And I'm so humbled by, the way in which you introduced me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, my pleasure. You have accomplished so much. So to get the first question out of the box, and I know it's a big one, but tell us about your journey to launching your company, Women Business Achievers.
Yes, I always like to talk about my one word. That for me, my one word, my passion is entrepreneurship. And this started way back when I used to work for the Ministry of Trade and Industry in South Africa, my country. And there was just this passion to help women in business be able to excel. Our vision, is to take women from the periphery into the mainstream of the economy and through connecting them with experts in various fields. So the way in which Women Business Achievers started, it was out of that passion that started way back more than 15 years ago when I was working for the Ministry of Trade and Industry. I have always felt that there is more that women can achieve. There is more that they can achieve, but they need somebody to help them. They need somebody to push them. They need somebody to show them that, your past failure doesn't determine your future. And also, I believe that you have to stop asking for permission to be successful, because nobody will give you that permission that you are looking for. You just have to step onto the waters. You just have to go ahead and do that which you believe you should do. I'm so passionate about helping entrepreneurs, and in my country I do a lot of volunteer work for small business owners. And I find that I'm so fulfilled doing it. It's not just something that I do when I'm awake, but even when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about projects. I'm thinking about what else can we do, to improve their businesses and to improve their lives. So for me, enterprise development is in my blood. It is something that I have started doing when I was still a teenager. And throughout my life, even when I was working in a normal job, I would still, in the evening time and over weekends, I would look for opportunities to help entrepreneurs.
I love that. Oh my gosh, Daphne, your passion just exudes. I mean, it's just, I can feel it from you right now. And I love what you said about asking for permission. That is such a
Yes.
light bulb moment for me. You are so right, and that is something that we and you are teaching women that when you have that dream, it is powerful, and don't let anybody stop you from walking into that dream, because the permission comes from within, really. I mean,
Yes,
we have to give
absolutely.
ourselves the permission first before we believe in ourselves first. Basically, that's what it is. But oh my gosh, that was a beautiful explanation. So I want to know, you have a very incredible approach to business, and explain what that is and how it plays a role in being successful as an entrepreneur.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that instead of always putting ourselves in a box, I believe that we don't even think outside of the box. But my thing is there is no box. Take off the box. Come up with creative ideas how to be a solution. Come up with ideas that haven't been there before, ideas that nobody has heard of before. And let's do this thing. Whatever your challenge is, know that there is a way to come out of it, in triumph. So that is what I believe in. And I believe in the fact that a mindset is something that is very, very important, because when you have a positive mindset, you are able to achieve things that nobody else has achieved before, simply because you tell yourself. It's very important for entrepreneurs to understand that you can achieve whatever you tell yourself to achieve, that your dream is possible, and that you have a community that is connected to your dream. And when you don't fulfill that dream, you are actually making that community that's connected to you to suffer. I believe each one of us, we've got a divine calling on our lives. We've got a divine purpose that we need to fulfill. And if you are in the marketplace like myself, there is a community of women entrepreneurs that is connected to my passion, that is connected to my purpose. And what I need to do, I need to step into that purpose and fulfill that divine calling on my life, and help that community that is connected to me to get the help and to launch out into the deep, so to say. Because you see, if I don't step out, then I don't help them to see that it's possible. I have failed
Mm.
so many times, Jane, and I think we talked about it the last time we were speaking. And in spite of the fact that I had failed so many times in business, the more I continue to push myself, is the more I encourage other people who have given up in business to know that if Daphne can do it, I also can do it. So that is something that I'm passionate about, to help other people and to be a light where there is darkness, to show somebody that, if I could do this, then you can do it as well. Because we are not extraordinary, Jane. You and I, we are not extraordinary. We just take extraordinary steps every day, and that helps us to look like we are extraordinary. But we are all ordinary people, just making extraordinary decisions every day, just going into untapped territory, going into unfamiliar territory, and helping our communities. That is what life is about. That is what a calling in the marketplace is about. It's about launching into something that looks impossible and helping other people to see that this is possible, this is doable. That's what it is about.
Woo, Daphne, I am inspired. Oh my gosh, you are so inspirational. You're eloquent in your delivery, and I'm just fired up. Oh my gosh, I could see why you're a leader in your
Thank you.
community.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm just I'm in awe. I mean, I love the analogy. Let's move on. Thinking outside the box is right up my wheelhouse, but I could sit here all day and listen to you. Let's move on to the next question. I'm so excited. Tell us about Leading Women Network and how it got started. I mean, I know you're the driving engine behind it, so I'm sure that's how it got started. But give us an idea of what goes on there and what inspired you.
Yes, Leading Women Network was formed about 2 years ago. It was actually formed during a time of pain. I realized that I needed somebody to talk to because I had gone through, rejection with friends of mine that I was doing some work with. So at that time when I was feeling alone, like I took 2 weeks, every night I was crying. I couldn't believe that the same people that I had helped, in so many ways, because when I believe in your vision, Jane, I will go all out. I put in my 110% into a vision that I believe in. And so when I felt the rejection that they gave me, I was alone and I felt like I can't tell my family, I can't tell my brothers and sisters because they won't know how to comfort me because I had already shown them that, I love these people and this is, what we are working on. So it was then that I realized that there are other women who are in the same position like me and who don't have anybody to talk to. And some people are going through domestic violence and they don't have anybody to talk to. And so I said, how about I start a platform where women can come together and share and then look at solutions to their challenges. Not only share and leave it at the table, but share challenges and look at solutions. What else can we do, to help, one another? What else can we do to help other professional women? Because, as you might know, some professional women, they have nobody to talk to. You find that everybody's looking up to them for solutions. Everybody is running to them, when they get through, challenging seasons in their lives. So that is how Leading Women Network was started. In our board of directors, we've got a psychiatrist who really helps us understand, in terms of psychiatry and psychological, setup, what happens when you go through abuse or when you go through domestic challenging situations. And then we've got nurses, we've got people that have been in multi-million rand businesses, and they understand that you can run a multi-million rand company or a multi dollar company, multi-millionaire company, but still, struggle, at home or struggle in your relationships. Now, you need to come together with a community that understands you, but at the same time, a community that you can trust. So,
Hmm.
our motto in Leading Women Network is I am enough. We believe that you are enough as a woman, and your dream is valid and that your dream is possible. And I go further to say the world needs your dream. So you need to go ahead and launch out in your dream, no matter the past experiences. Maybe you've gone through abuse, maybe you've gone through neglect as a child, maybe you've been adopted, or maybe you failed so many times. But the main thing is that you must know that your dream, that dream that you had, it's still possible. And that dream that you had, in spite of the failures that you might have had, that dream is needed. There's a community that is waiting for that dream to be launched. So that is a little background about Leading Women Network. It's a non-profit organization, and at the moment we are in South Africa. And my vision is to roll it out to other African countries.
That sounds wonderful. The power of community really
Yes.
is and for women especially, we gravitate towards that because we do very much believe in helping each other. And that is beautiful, Daphne, giving women a platform to not just express issues in business, but also personal if they're dealing with that. So, what a wonderful organization that let's make it global. We all need it.
Yes. Oh,
Definitely.
yes. I need
Definitely.
you to make it global.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get that ball rolling for sure. I love the idea. Well, you have written a book, Climbing the Ladder of Success, that has been translated into 6 different languages. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. So,
Thank you.
you tell us what the inspiration was for writing the book.
Yes, the background of the book, um, because of my passion for entrepreneurship, most of the women groups and women conferences in different organizations, and also in business conferences, business events in South Africa, I would be invited to come and speak and share about, success principles for running a business. Not only that, but as a motivational speaker, they would come, they would call me to come and motivate, entrepreneurs in my country. And so every time I would speak, there's a whole lot of people who would ask me, can you come and speak again? And I remember, some of the organizations, they would say, every time we have this women's conference, we would want you to come and speak, and I decided that since I'm not able to discuss all that is in me with them, over, one session, I'm going to put it into a book. And
Oh,
what was interesting is that I took about 3 years writing the book. The book is 69 pages, but I took 3 years because I could only write under inspiration. So there would be times when I would write for a month, and then there would be times when I would take 6 months not writing at all, waiting for the inspiration. So that is how the book came about. It was out of realizing that there is a need to share from my experience and also from my studies. I studied a master's in entrepreneurship, and also out of, what I've learned from my mentors and what I'm learning from my coaches, that these are the things that will actually help entrepreneurs to grow, to scale up their businesses. And I have so many testimonies. You know, last month, Jane, and I get a call from this lady, and I haven't spoken to her for two years. And she says to me, I've been missing you. And I'm like, I was missing you as well. And I wasn't hearing from you for a long time. And she says to me, I couldn't forget you. And I said, why are you saying that? And she says, oh my God, you changed my life. And
mm,
she reminds me, she says, remember, I bought your book, and she says, I read your book and it has literally changed my life. And whenever I speak to other people, I've had people that say that they had given up on business. And then after reading my book, they decided they will go back into business. I had somebody saying that after reading my book, he felt that leaders need to read this book because my book is really a how-to manual. It's a book that help you whether you are in business or you're in leadership or just as a family person. It helps you get inspired, not only inspired but be transformed, because I believe in transformation. Because when we talk about transformation is when we talk about you deciding to go a different route because you've learned something new. You're not only inspired for a moment, but you are transformed, meaning that your decisions are now different because of what you've learned. So, in a nutshell, that's about the book. And I was so humbled by my former leader in Ministry of Trade and Industry, Mandisa, when she sent me that forward, because that forward is just from her heart. I work
Hmm.
closely with her, changing businesses throughout South Africa's 9 different states, so to say.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, it sounds like every budding entrepreneur needs to get a copy of your book for sure. And I did read a little brief comment there that said it's also a working book, so it's got a lot of useful tools in it as well. I can't wait to read
Yes.
through it myself. I mean, what a beautiful, beautiful way to put a book together. And speaking of that, what advice would you give to an aspiring author? Because you said that it took you 3 years to write the book. Just give us one or two takeaways of what advice you would give if someone was looking to author a book.
Yes, absolutely. For a long time, I didn't know that I'm an author. And what happened was that I just loved reading. I would read and I collect books. I remember sometimes for Christmas, I would buy myself books, as Christmas gifts. And sometimes if I love a book and I don't want to miss it, and I'm not sure whether it's still there in my library, I would buy a second copy, like a book like Think and Grow Rich. I've got two copies just in case one is misplaced, and that's how much I love books. And I was listening to somebody on YouTube way before I started writing. And that person said, if you love books, know that there is an author, hidden on the inside of you. And I took that serious and I started just writing. So, what you need to do, just write. Get yourself a journal or get yourself a writing pad. And when an inspired thought comes to you, just start writing. Just write, And even if you don't know the title of the book, don't worry about the title of the book. Just write the inspired thoughts. Later, you'll get to the title and you'll get to the different, chapters of the book. So I would say if you want to publish a book, there are people that can show you, there are tools that you can use, to write the book. And with Amazon, my books are on Amazon as well. They are on Apple, they are on Google, and they are on different platforms. So if you want to publish, Amazon makes it very easy because they give you the ISBN number and you just start and load, and you can also design the cover yourself, So because of technology, things are much easier. So if you know you want to write a book, go ahead and just start writing. Just start today. You don't need to wait, for a Kairos moment. Just start today.
Yes, I think we all get caught up in the perfection paralysis. And
Yes.
like you said, don't worry about the title, don't worry about the publication, just write.
Yes.
Pen and paper, old fashioned way, or, get your keyboard, whatever inspires you in that moment, just write it down. That's great advice. I think I need to heed that advice myself. I have little stickies all over the place. That's how I drive my husband
That's
crazy.
great.
I've got little sticky papers everywhere, and he's like, "Can you please use a big piece of paper?" It's just when the moment hits me, I write it down. Oh well. Anyway, that's great advice. Thank you so much, Daphne, for that. And who has been the biggest influence in your life, and why?
Okay. I hope I won't start bawling now, but it's my dad. My dad has been a leader of leaders during his time. He passed away more than 15 years ago. And my dad was somebody who was a teacher, a school teacher. And at one time, he was a principal of a school. And later he retired earlier and went into business full time. Now, my dad inspired me, and also I believe my siblings, because he believed in me, he believed in us, you know. And maybe let me talk about me specifically, that every time I do a career move and do something different, I remember that I would go to my dad, and because they lived in another town, which is Pulukwani, and I've always lived in Johannesburg. And so I would go, you know, to my dad, and I would tell him, and I would update him that now I'm working for such and such a company, and this is what we are doing. And I remember that he would always encourage me. And sometimes I didn't even think that he would understand what I was doing, but he would always know exactly what I mean. And because he was somebody who was well read, he was, you know, he was made very much aware of what's going on. And I always knew that I have his support. I always knew that I had his, you know, I had my back, you know, because of him. I remember, Jane, that one time, way after he had passed on, I remember that I was called for an interview when I was looking for a normal job. um, and I was called for an interview to come and work as a, you know, marketing and sales manager for an engineering company. And what was interesting was that I hadn't been in engineering field ever, and I was told that this engineering field is called HVAC. In the first place, I didn't know what HVAC is. Now I know, you know, it's heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and cooling. So it's a type of engineering that is, you know, very special and very unique. And so after I heard about what I'm supposed to do, on that spot, when I was in the interview, I decided I'm going to go for it. I didn't know how I was going to sell a service that I didn't understand. All I knew was I will learn, you know. And I remember that my dad would always, you know, say, "You go for it, you'll make it," you know. So I went into that company knowing that if my dad was still alive, I would, you know, I would get his support. And indeed, I went to the plant, to the engineering site where we were doing some work in order for me to learn in the first 3 months, you know. And after a year, I was able to convince a buyer of a big company that was having a huge project in Ghana. I was able to convince them that we could do HVAC for that $1 billion building. And it was just amazing that my presentation was so convincing that we were selected as the top 3 companies in the country. And I told him that I'm not an engineer. And if you need, you know, technical, you know, expertise, or you need technical explanation of how we're going to do it, I will make an appointment and bring over an engineer to come and explain to you, you know, because the buyer was an engineer. Now he's retired. But that is how my dad had an influence on me. And he taught us business because he went into business earlier when we were still at varsity. And so he has really taught me so much, you know. And I remember that at his funeral, there were so many people that said he was their mentor because he could advise them, whether it's on business or it's on family situations. They would make an appointment with him, and with his wisdom, he would know exactly how the problem should be solved.
Right, right. I could see that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You have definitely inherited your father's spirit and soul, and you are a mentor to, I'm sure, many, many people and many more to come. What a wonderful story. Yes, it's so great to have
Thank
someone
you.
who can ground you. Excuse me. So, what advice then would you give your future self?
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting question. My future self, I would say, I mean, looking back, then I would say to my future self that, you know what, don't take life too seriously. Learn to dance even in the rain, because at the end of the day, everything will work out for your good.
Love that. Oh my gosh. You dance even in the rain. Yes, we do.
Yes.
We all take life way too seriously. And it's, in the end,
Yes,
everything will be okay. Yes, absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely love it. So tell us what your favorite daily affirmation is.
Yes, every day, this is what I say to myself, and this is what I believe, that I am blessed, that today I will be at the right place at the right time to meet the right people. And I believe that I'm favored, I'm highly favored, and I'm loved, and that is why I'm here with you today, Jane.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure, honestly. It's divine connection because it was someone who
Yes,
referred you to me, and see, there you go. You must have been putting out that energy, and we have connected, and I am just so blessed and happy to know you. So, moving
yes.
towards business, because I know we can get all mushy, and we probably will later. But can you give us three business tips that you feel
Yes.
entrepreneurs could really use, and how they can incorporate that into either their mindset or their business?
Yes, absolutely. I believe that, a positive mindset is very, very important. And I believe that, one of the tips is that you've got to learn how to fail forward.
Mm.
Learn how to use the lessons learned in the past in order to improve your future. And having failed in doing something, it's not final. All you need to do is you've got to go back and say, what did I do wrong? And then improve from that. Failure is not final, and your history doesn't determine your future. The other tip is that stop asking for permission. Stop asking people, can I be successful? Can I go into this industry? Can I launch this business? Just go ahead and do it. Because if you are trying to wait on people, they will never give you that permission that you need. So it's very, very important that you give yourself permission to do certain things. Give yourself permission to go ahead and go places you've never gone to, say things you've never said, do things that you've never done before, because you believe that you've got this vision and you believe that you are irreplaceable. And the other thing is that association is very important. Associate with the right people, because your association will either pull you up to go up, or it will push you down. Your association matters. The people you associate with will change your life either negatively or positively.
Those are three very useful and fabulous tips. Absolutely. Yes. Surrounding yourself with individuals who actually challenge you as well, that will
Yes,
actually more than just lift you up, but they will challenge you because they are at a
challenge you.
higher level than you. Don't be afraid to, step into a realm that maybe it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, or a lot out of your comfort zone, even
Yes,
better, because they will push you to be even better. That's something, even as children, I know that, they should be, brighter children should probably be in school with brighter children. But those are great. Now,
Yes.
you've given us those 3 tips, and I don't know if you have one more piece that you would like everybody to hear.
Yes, absolutely. Um, what I always teach people is that you are the CEO of your life. You decide, how things will be in your life. You decide that in spite of the difficulties, in spite of the pandemic, I have 100% responsibility for my life. And that doesn't mean that people don't go through hardships and trials, but it just means that you decide that in spite of these hardships, in spite of these difficult situations, I decide that my ultimate, goal is that I am a success. My ultimate goal is that this is what I want to achieve, and this is what I will do. And the other thing that I like to share with people is that, you become who you are on the inside. I believe in always empowering the inside. I believe in self development big time, as you know. And I believe that a lot of people don't understand that as a man thinks, so is he. The thoughts that constantly go on, the discussions that you have continuously in your mind, they actually go to your subconscious mind. And when you tell the subconscious mind who you are, the subconscious mind believes it. That is why, for example, I tell myself that my dream is possible. And I keep on telling this to my subconscious, because my subconscious mind believes whatever I tell it. And my subconscious mind is what connected us. My subconscious mind is what goes outside and causes the vibration around me to attract good people. Over the past months, I've been meeting wonderful people, who believe in my vision. I've been meeting people that I've never met before. I've been meeting people that I don't even have contacts, and they've never seen my website. But it's simply because of the vibration that I have, and the belief system, and the positive mindset that I keep on maintaining, that all that I wish for, all that I want, is possible. And that is my path. It's too late actually for the enemy to convince me otherwise. It's too late for the enemy to make me believe in the negative.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's too late. That's a great saying.
Yes,
It's too late for the enemy to change my mind. Because you're absolutely right. Our thoughts do create our reality. It's whatever we perceive that creates what we see and what we believe.
yes,
So I
yes,
completely agree with you 100%. And it's so amazing that once we understand that and we keep repeating the positive instead of the negative, how that will change our outlook in everything in life for the
yes.
rest of our lives. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so we have one last out of the box question. Speaking of thinking and creating outside a box, being the epic vision zone, I ask this of every speaker. And if your life were an epic story, what would the title be?
Oh, Daphne, a trailblazer. Daphne, who lived a life that impacted people, uh, who didn't, relate with people according to their background. Uh, Daphne, who impacted people in spite of their, their past mistakes, in spite of their class, because I don't believe in connecting with somebody because of their class, or somebody connecting with someone because of their achievements. So I'm looking forward to maybe when I'm 100 years old, and I can look back and say that yes, I did it. I achieved greatness, and I have impacted lives, and they are never the same. The world is better because I passed by.
That's beautiful. A really long title, but beautiful. So, well, we'll shrink it down so it'll at least fit on the book cover. But beautiful. I love it. Thank you. You gave us the whole epic story, but thank you so much. I love it. So, Daphne, it's been a pleasure. Oh my gosh, a pleasure having you on the show. And I want to thank you so much for your insight, your inspiration and contribution, helping women to walk into their destiny and realize their dreams. And I have to say
Thank
that
you.
she is joining us. You're very welcome, all the way from South Africa, staying up late so that she could be on our show. And I so appreciate that. And for more information and social media links, including the book, you can go to Daphne's profile page on the Epic Vision Zone show
Yes.
directory. So be sure to check that out. And be sure to check with Daphne if you would like to explore contributing your voice to her platform. She's always interested in exploring new opportunities and talking with new individuals. And let's get that platform worldwide, because I think it's a community that
Thank you.
every woman could use. So definitely check that out. If you have a beef that you want to air, Daphne's your girl. Or a celebration that you want to cheer about. So if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram and grab a free copy of your Epic Success download on my website at janeapplegath.com. Until next time, this is the Epic Vision Zone, transforming your dream into epic success. Congratulations for signing up for the Female Entrepreneur Revolution. We're bringing you some of the most exciting female entrepreneurs from around the globe to share with you their knowledge, their ideas, their inspiration, and more importantly, their resources to elevate you to prosperity and freedom. And by being here, you're on the cusp of something great, your epic future. I'm Jane Applegath, founder of the Epic Vision Zone and producer of the Female Entrepreneur Revolution. Be sure to get your VIP pass and join me after the summit on June 16th for a very special VIP coaching session where we'll have hot seating, summit Q&A, and a special guest appearance by one of our speakers just for you, where we'll ignite your vision, up-level your confidence, and set you on the path to your dreams' epic success. This is your opportunity calling. It's time to take action. Get your VIP pass now. I can't wait to see you on the other side.